Good morning. The following Zoom session is being recorded and will appear later today on my YouTube channel, Math with Mayo. There are two different classes that may be observing this session. Therefore, when you participate in the Zoom meeting, let's see here. If you do not wish your picture or name to be made public, please leave the video off and use an alias name. If you have questions during the meeting but do not wish to speak, email me at bmail@ybcc.edu and I'll respond as soon as I can. All right, so we've been reviewing by going over the different outcomes, and we're going to wrap up outcome number 3 today, working on the review problems. And then as time permits, we'll go on to outcome number 4. So let me find a blank screen here. Here we go. Okay. So taking a look at number 37, a banker invested money in 2 investments. The first investment returned 8% simple interest. The second investment returned 14% simple interest. If the second investment was $310 more than the first, and the total interest for both investments was $248, find the amount invested in each investment. Lots of words, investments there. Okay, so we've got the first investment, which is the 8%, and the second investment, which is the 14%. Now, what do we know about the 2 investments? We know that the second investment is $310 more money than the first investment. So if we call the first investment X, that is the amount of the investment, the second investment's amount would be X plus $310. All right, so now we know the amount of each investment. The first investment is X, the second investment is X plus $310. So it says the total interest for both investments was $248. And I want to point out, it says the total interest for both investments. So the interest for the first investment would be 8%, which written as a decimal would look like that, times the amount of investment. The interest for the second investment would be 14% times the amount of investment. So we've got interest plus interest, interest from the first investment plus interest from the second investment would equal the total amount of interest, which is the $248. So here is our equation. Any questions on how I got that equation before we go on? All right, so we've got 0.08x plus 0.14x plus 0.14 times 310 equals 248. All right, 0.08x plus 0.14x plus, let's see, if we take 0.14 times 310, we get 43.4, and that equals 248. Combining like terms on the left side of the equation, let's see, 0.8 plus 0.14 would be 0.22x, I believe, plus 43.4 equals 248. Let's see here. Okay, then I'm going to subtract 43.8 from both sides of the equation. And let's see here, 248 minus 43.4 is 204.6. Then I will divide both sides by 0.22. 204.6 divided by 0.22 is 930. It says the banker invested how much at 8%? So that would be $930. Okay, so that's going to go there. And at the 14% would be 930 plus 310, which is what, $1,240. And let's see here, $1,240. So there you go. Again, any questions about that particular problem? All right, let's take a look at problem number 38. Brianna was paid $10,000 for a cell phone app that she wrote and wants to invest it to save for her son's education. She wants to put some money into a bond that pays 5% annual interest and the rest into stocks that he expects to pay out 9% interest. If she wants to earn 8.04%, let's see, annual interest on the total investment, how much money should she invest in each account? All right, so we've got, let's see, the bond, which pays 5%. And we've got the stocks that pay 9%. Now, what do we know about the amounts of money invested? We know that the total amount is $10,000. So again, let's say that this piece of paper represents $10,000. We're going to invest part of it at 5% and the rest of it at 9%. Well, let's call the first part of it X. If this is $10,000 and we invest X, what do we have left? We have $10,000, take away the X. 10,000, take away X. All right. Now, let's see here. 5% of X, that would be the interest on the bond. So 0.05X plus 9% on the stocks, 0.09 times $10,000 minus X equals. Now here's where things are a little bit different. Back in 37, it said this amount of interest plus this amount of interest equals the total amount of interest. Okay, so we took 8% of the first amount, 8% of the first amount plus 14% of the second amount, and let's see here. Here we go, and it equaled the total amount of interest. But in this problem, in 38, it doesn't give us the total amount of interest. It says that this amount of interest plus this amount of interest is equal to 8.4% of the total amount. So on the right side of the equal sign, we're going to have 0.0804 times the total amount of money. And again, this is converting 8.04% into a decimal, but it's going to be that percent of the total amount of money. Okay, so do you see the difference there between those two problems? Subtle, but important. So now we've got 0.05x plus, let's see here, if we take 0.09 times 10,000, we get 900, and then minus 0.09 x. Let's see here. Something's bothering me here. Why is it bothering me? Because we're going to get a negative answer. You see right here, taking that, and now I'm going to get a negative answer. Oh, hang on. Maybe we'll be okay. Let's go over here and let's take 0.0804 times 10,000. We're also going to get a negative answer on the right side. So we're okay. I just started to panic there, but nope, we're fine. So let's see what it is I was panicking about. If I take 0.05 minus 0.09x, I get negative 0.04x plus 900 equals 804. And I thought, well, x can't be a negative amount of money, but we're not done yet. If we subtract 900, we get negative 0.04x equals what? Negative, let's see, if we take 804 minus 900, negative 96. So now we divide both sides by the negative 0.04. And negative divided by negative is positive. 96 divided by 0.04 is $2,400. So this would be $2,400. This would be 10,000 minus 2,400, which would be $7,600. Okay, so 2,400 and $7,600. Okay. All righty. Any questions about that problem before we go on? Okay. Let's take a look at problem number 39. Use the formula A equals LW to find the length of a rectangle when the width is 30 yards. So the width is 30 yards and the area is 1,350 square yards. So putting the values in for the variables, we have 1,350 equals L times 30. Or we could say 1,350 equals 30 times L, divide both sides by 30, and we get 1,350 divided by 30 comes out 45. So that would be 45 yards. There's 45 yards. Any questions there? All right, let's take a look at number 40. Use the formula P equals 2L plus 2W to find the width of a rectangle when the length is 44 yards and the perimeter is 146 yards. So we've got 146 equals 2 times 44 plus 2W. We get 146 equals 88 plus 2W, simplifying on the right side of the equation. Subtracting 88 from both sides, we get, let's see, what do we got? 146 minus 88 is 58 equals 2W. Divide both sides by 2, and W equals 29 yards. So 29 yards. Any questions on problem number 40? All right, we'll go on to 41 then. Use the formula 4x plus 7y equals 41 to find y when x is 5. So 5 goes in the place of x. We get 4 times 5 plus 7y is 41. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 7y is 41. Subtract 20 from both sides. 7y equals 21. Divide both sides by 7. Y equals 3. Continuing on. Itchy nose today. 42, it's all this dry stuff. Use the formula 7x plus 6y equals 33 to find x when y is 5. So 5 goes in the place of y. 7x plus 6 times 5 is 33. 7x, whoops, plus 30 equals, hang on, I need to slow down here. This is 33. Okay. So 33, 7x plus 30 equals 33. Subtract 30 from both sides, 7x equals 3, x equals 3/7. So let's see what happens when we put 3/7 in there. This is not a decimal or an integer value. Oh, can anybody tell me what mistake I made? Eric, tell me what I made. I just now saw it.
Yeah, the 33 should be 23.
Yep. Well.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yes. Well played. Yeah. After a 3-day weekend, I'm just totally worthless. Obviously. All right. 23, 7x equals what? Negative
7.
Divide by 7x equals -1. Okay. -1. Once again, do as I say, not as I do. And what I say is check your work before you click that final submit question. Fortunately, I get a second chance here on your final exam. You only get one chance for each. So take your time and check your work. Just don't follow my examples. Solve the formula for the specified variable. A equals 1/2 BH. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So 2A equals BH, because the 1/2 and the 2 reduce down to 1/1. Then I'm going to divide both sides by H. So B equals 2A over H. Now, I don't know if WAMAP cares, but in WebAssign it does, which is the other one I've been using. So don't change cases of the letters. So this should be, let's see, I'm going to have a fraction. In the numerator, it's going to be 2 capital A, and in the denominator, a small h. Okay, let's see what it says. Just to see what's going to happen, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put in a lowercase a. Let's see if it accepts it. It changes it. That's right. I remember that from before. In some other programs, it will mark it wrong, but here it automatically changes it. So it gives me a break, as you as well. All right. 44 coming up. Let's see here. 4x minus 3y equals -5. Solve for x. So I'm going to add 3y to both sides of the equation and then divide both sides by 4. So x is 3y minus 5 over 4. And let's see here. For that, I'm going to use this fraction key. So 3y minus 5 all over 4. Now, you could also split it up. Notice what they've done here. So I could have also said, well, x equals 3y over 4 minus 5 over 4. You'll see that that's what's written in here, that's also an acceptable form of the answer. Okay. All right. Any questions about that? Okay, let's go on to 45 then. Let's see here. Solve the following for y. 6x minus y equals 7. Let's see. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. So I get negative y equals negative 6x plus 7. Well, then I'm going to divide everybody by negative 1. So y equals positive 6x minus 7. Negative divided by negative is positive. Negative divided by negative is positive. Positive divided by negative is negative. So I get 6x minus 7. And here we see getting ready for that slope intercept form, y equals mx plus b. That's getting you ready for that, which is coming up here in the next section. Okay, 46. Solve the following for y. 8 minus 3y equals 4x. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. Negative 3y equals 4x minus 8. I'm going to divide each term by negative 3. So I get y equals negative 4/3 x plus 8/3. All right. So let's see. Y equals negative 4/3 x. And notice I move the cursor outside. I don't want to do this. I don't want to have the x in the denominator, okay? It needs to be out in front or in the numerator. Either way, not out front, but out at the rear there, okay? And then plus 8/3. Any questions about how I submitted that? Okay, and then let's see here. Gotta move this out of the way to see the problem. Solve the following for y, number 47. Let's see, x over 8 minus y over 4 equals 1. I'm going to subtract x over 8 from both sides. So I get negative y over 4 equals negative x over 8 plus 1. I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 4. Negative times negative is positive, and the 4 is reduced down to y. So here I get what? Negative x over 8 times negative 4 plus 1 times negative 4. Negative times negative is positive. 4 over 8 is 1 over 2. So I've got x over 2 plus what? Negative 4. So I'm going to write that as 1/2 x minus 4. Now, x over 2 and 1/2 x are the same thing. But the reason I'm emphasizing that form is because that emphasizes the slope. Let's see what they did here. Yeah, they did that. Okay, so I've got 1/2 x and then minus 4. Okay. All right, any questions there? Now we're going to go to outcome number 4. We finally finished outcome number 3. So give me just a minute here. Okay, outcome 4. All righty. So outcome 4. Well, we're at this point, let me tell you. So I'm going to continue reviewing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I think, let me double check this. Also on Monday, during regular class time, I will be here. Okay. Starting Monday, though, there's no office hour. And in fact, the regular class meeting is just to make sure that we get through everything. And then your final exam is Tuesday. It's due by Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m. But anyway, just to let you know, that's what's going to be happening. And during finals week, there's no office hours. There's actually no official class meetings, but I'm going to meet with you on Monday at the regular time, just to make sure we get through all of this. Okay, so outcome number 4, question 1, plot these points. So 8, 4, let's see, I'm gonna go dot, so 8, 4 is right there. Okay. 2, 1, I'm gonna move that a little bit. Yeah. I don't know how picky it's going to be. There we go. 1, 5, 6, 8, and 4, 2. All right. Any question about where I plotted those points? Okay, let's take a look at question number 2. Same thing, plot these points. So 3, 4, 0, 0, -1, -3 halves. Well, -3 halves would be -1.5. So right there. Okay. And then -4, -4. Any question about those? So I changed that into a mixed number to know where to locate it. They don't typically write mixed numbers in ordered pairs, but when you've got an improper fraction like that, you need to convert it to a mixed number to know where to plot it. Okay. Now we've got the points, we've got to identify them. Point A would be what? -1, -3. So parentheses, actually, you know what? I'm just going to use the parentheses on the keyboard. -1, comma, space. Oh, that's right. I can't use the space. Yes, I remember that. -3. Okay. I could use this instead, and then I wouldn't have to use the one on the keyboard screen. Let's see. B is -3, 0. So -3, comma, 0. C is 2, 4. 2, comma, 4. And D is X is 0, Y is -2. So 0, I guess I've got to put parentheses there one way or another. 0, comma, -2. Okay. So again, I can put parentheses by either using this or using the keyboard. But if you put in a space in this context, it shifts it outside of the screen. So you kind of have to, or outside of the parentheses, kind of have to get used to the notation. We all right with number 3? Questions on 3? Anybody? Mike, you have a question? Your sound is off if you do have a question. Yeah.
I'm just gonna need to follow up with everything on you, everything later.
Okay. All right. Eric, did you have a question? Nope. Okay. All right. You just looked quick.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. All right. You had that quizzical look on your face, whatever that is. All right. Now we're going to make a scatter plot. So basically we're going to be plotting ordered pairs again. Okay. 25, 375. Careful. 25 is right here. And then 375 would be halfway between 350 and 400. Okay. 18, comma, 75. 18, comma, 75, halfway between 50 and 100. 25, 350 is right there. 16,400. 17,225. Again, your scale on the bottom, it's units of 2, and on the side, it's the vertical axis, it's units of 50. Let's see, that was 17,225. 21,225. 19,225. 13,375. and 14,100. All righty. Well, let's continue on to question number 5 then. Now they have the points. During what calendar year, here's our calendar years along the bottom, was the average price of the commodity 56 cents per pound? Well, here's 56 cents, so that would be what, 1997 is the only one? Okay. During what calendar year or years was the average price of the commodity 57 cents per pound? And that would be 1998. Okay. Problem number 6. For each of the following equations, complete the given ordered pairs. 4x minus y equals 12. All right, so first of all, we've got x is -4. Then we've got x is -3. And then finally, we've got y is -4. So when x is -4, that's going to go in place of x. 4 times -4 minus y equals 12. -16 minus y equals 12. Add 16 to both sides. Negative y equals 28. Divide by -1, y equals -28. Okay. -28. Next, x is -3, so that goes in the place of x. So we get 4 times -3 minus y equals 12. -12 minus y equals 12. Add 12 to both sides. Negative y equals 24. Divide by -1, y equals -24. 24. And finally, y is -4. So we get 4x minus -4 equals 12. 4x subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. So 4x plus 4 equals 12. Subtract 4 from both sides. Oops. 4x equals 8. Divide by 4x equals 2. X equals 2. And there we go. All right. Moving on to question number 7. For the given graph, what is the value of y when x is 0? X equals 0 is right here. So the value of y is -3. Questions on that? All right. For the given graph, what is the value of x when y is -1? When y is -1, x is 3. In fact, the equation of this line would be x equals 3, wouldn't it? Or vertical line, x equals a constant. Okay. For the following equation, complete the given ordered pairs, then draw a line using 2 of the ordered pairs. Okay. So let's see, this is what, number 9. And we've got x minus y equals -4. Okay. And So first of all, x is -4. So we get -4 minus y equals -4. Add 4 to both sides. -y equals 0. Divide by -1, y equals 0. Okay. If x is -3, we get -3 minus y equals -4. Add 3 to both sides. -y equals -1. Divide both sides by -1, y equals +1. If y equals 3, x minus 3 equals -4. Add 3 to both sides, x equals -1. So we've got -4, 0, -3, 1, and -1, 3. Well, I'm going to use the first 2 points. So -4, 0 is right there. -3, 1 is right there. Now, it said to just plot 2 points. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to plot a third point, but I'm going to see if that third point's on the line. -1, 3 it is. So I'd say that I've done it correctly, because if all 3 points don't line up, you know you messed up somewhere. But I'm not going to plot a third point. I'm just going to eyeball it there. Okay. So there's problem number 9. Problem number 10. We're going to do the exact same thing. Our equation is y equals -3/4 x plus 1. So I've got -4, something, 0, something, and something, -2. If x is -4, y equals -3/4 times -4 plus 1, which is 12 over 4, which is 3 plus 1, which is 4. If x is 0, y equals -3/4 times 0 plus 1, which is 0 plus 1, or just 1. If y is -2, I get -2 equals -3/4 x plus 1. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Then I'm going to multiply both sides by -4/3. -4/3. So I get x on the right and 12/3 or 4 on the left. So -4, 4, 0, 1, 4, oops, 4, -2, -4, 4 is there, 0, 1 is there, 4, -2 would be there. I'm not going to click it, but that would be correct. So they line up. And there we go. There's the graph. Okay. Same type of problem again. Number 11, x plus 2y equals 2. We're going to complete the ordered pairs, -2, something, -4, something, and something, 1. If x is -2, we get -2 plus 2y equals 2. Add 2 to both sides. 2y equals 4. Divide by 2, y equals 2. If x is -4, -4 plus 2y equals 2. Add 4 to both sides. 2y equals 6. Divide by 2, y equals 3. If y equals 1, x plus 2 times 1 equals 2. X plus 2 equals 2. Subtract 2 from both sides, x equals 0. So we've got -2, 2, -4, 3, and 0, 1. Let's see, -2, 2 is there. -4, 3 is there. And 0, 1 would be on the line. So there we go. All righty. Let's go on to number 12. More of the same thing. And let's see, we've got, oh, y equals -1. Complete the following ordered pairs. Well, if y equals -1, then y equals -1. Doesn't matter what x is. Y equals -1, that's going to be a horizontal line passing through y equals 1. So let's see, we're going to put it through -1, excuse me. So -1, -1, and -1. So let's see, -5, -1, -2, -1, and then 2, -1 would be right there. So there's a horizontal line, y equals -1. Okay, remember, x equals a constant is a vertical line, y equals a constant is a horizontal line. I guess we've got one more of these before we switch to something else. You're all thinking, enough already. They say practice makes perfect. Actually, it's perfect practice makes perfect. If you practice wrong, that's not going to help. For the following equation, complete the given ordered pairs, then draw. Okay, so we've got x equals 2y, 4 comma something, 2 comma something, and something comma 0. If x is 4, 4 equals 2y, divide both sides by 2, y equals 2. If x equals 2, 2 equals 2y, divide both sides by 2, y equals 1. If y equals 0, x equals 2 times 0, x equals 0. So 4, 2, 2, 1, and 0, 0. And let's see here, 4, 2, 2, 1, and 0, 0. All righty. So that's graphing lines by calculating several points. All right, this says find the slope of the line as a reduced fraction or integer that passes through the following points. Okay. And our points are -24, comma, -13, and -8, -3. I'm going to call the first one 0.1 and the second one 0.2. The slope formula is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Y sub 2 is -3, y sub 1 is -13. X sub 2 is -8, and x sub 1 is -24. So in the numerator, I've got -3 minus -13, which is -3 plus 13. Subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. -3 plus 13 is a positive 10. In the denominator, -8 minus -24, subtracting a negative is like adding a positive. -8 plus 24 would be what? Positive 16. But this can be reduced down to 5/8. So 5 divided by 8. Any questions there? Oh, yes, Mike?
What are sub numbers?
Okay. So these little subscripts refer to, so this is 0.1, so this is x sub 1, y sub 1. This is 0.2, so this is x sub 2, y sub 2. So the little subscript refers to which point I'm getting those X or Y coordinates from.
Oh, okay. So where they're placed, X or Y.
Yes.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you.
You bet. 15 coming up. Find the slope of the line and write your answer as a reduced fraction. Okay. Now, first of all, pay attention to the scale. For this problem, each square is 1 unit. Find a couple of nice points. How about here and there? So from here, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So 3 over 1 or just 3. All right. Number 16. Find the slope of the line as a reduced fraction or integer that passes through the following points. Okay, so number 16, we've got the point 2, 4 and 0, 4. This is point 1, this is point 2, so m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Y sub 2 is the y value from point 2. Y sub 1 is the y value from point 1. X sub 2 is the x value from point 2. X sub 1 is the x value from point 1. 4 minus 4 is 0 over negative 2, which reduces down to 0. So the slope is 0. The slope is 0 of a horizontal line, isn't it? So, yeah. Okay. What's the slope of this horizontal line? 0. What's the slope of this vertical line? Undefined. Okay, and don't forget, if you need to, you can click in on the magnifying glass. Couldn't think of the word to make it larger if that helps. Okay, going on to 19. Find the slope of the following line. 3y equals 17. Well, this is an equation that just contains the variable y. If I divide both sides by 3, y equals 17/3 is a horizontal line, and the slope of a horizontal line is 0. Take a look at problem number 20. 3x equals 15. Here's a linear equation again in one variable. X equals 5. X equals 5 is the equation of a vertical line. The slope of a vertical line is undefined. Okay. Find the slope of the following line. Negative 3y equals 25. This is a linear equation in one variable. We get y equals negative 25/3. Y equals a constant is a horizontal line. The slope of a horizontal line is 0. Okay. All right, we're going to stop there. Let's see here. Let me write this down. So we will pick up on outcome number 4, problem 22 tomorrow. I'm curious how many more questions we've got here. Yeah, we've got a bunch of them. Maybe we'll get through the rest of that tomorrow. Anyway, I'll be back at 1:15 with an office hour. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.